Morning, morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Today's video is going to focus on fitness. And I'm not a fitness god or anything. It's just I don't have major fitness certification. Fitness has been a part of my life for many years, decades really. Whether going back as a little guy and I used to play baseball and hockey, but I started probably working out in the gym back when I was a teenager, more so around like 16. I'm 51 now, so there was a couple spurts where I took a break from the gym, but for the most part I've been active working out for many years. But a few years ago, I took a couple years off. I had a stomach injury. I thought it was a hernia, but turns out it was something else a lot less severe. It was just like strained ab muscles, and all I had to do was strengthen my abs. So once I found that out, I got back into working out, and that was probably around, 2022, 2023-ish. But yeah, so what I'm going to talk about today is fitness, and it's for everyone, because fitness, to get fit and be fit, it's not hard, really. I mean, it's not hard in the sense where it's complicated. You just got to do it. And I think everyone can do it, and they put things and ideas in their mind why they can't. And I think there's I got a little list here again, but there's 4 things, and I think if you do them, you're going to see tremendous improvements in your life, fitness-wise. But not only fitness-wise, when you become more fit, it spins off mentally, and how you feel, and how you mentally feel, and how you look at yourself, and how others perceive you. If you're wondering why I'm looking like this, it's because I'm on my way to the gym. I actually have been doing home workouts for a couple years now, but I just joined a gym, Movati Fitness, a week ago, and I love it. That's a whole nother topic. So yeah, as I mentioned, I feel there's 4 things that you can do if you're starting from scratch to get fit, if you want to see dramatic improvements. And my first thing that I still do is intermittent fasting. Some people give this a bit of a bad rap. You've got to have your 5 meals a day and things like that. And I think the 5 meals a day is okay if you have certain goals. Maybe your goal is to put on a little bit of size or something, but I think that's honestly something we just put in our mind, that we need the 5 meals a day. If you want to see not dramatic, but if you want to see changes in your body, burning more fat, cut out breakfast. I don't think breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I think people have it backwards. I think people feel breakfast is a bowl of Fruit Loops. Oh, it's breakfast. It's good. No. Intermittent fasting, if you can start by having your eating window from 12 noon to 8 p.m. and probably 2 meals in there and maybe a snack, and make sure those meals are healthy, you're going to see tremendous improvements. Because by cutting out breakfast, you're going to be eliminating, 400, 800 calories, because a lot of breakfasts are high octane, muffins, sugary cereals, grains, toast, breads, things like that. Cut out breakfast. You get to lunch, and when you first start this, it's going to be an adjustment. It's a shock to your system. You might have been eating breakfast for years. You start cutting out breakfast, you get to that 12 o'clock, you're going to be probably hungry. But what it's going to do is, when you start eating your lunch, you're going to really enjoy your lunch. And it could be as simple as something as chicken and some potatoes, or who knows, just something healthy. It's going to taste much better than normal. that piece of fruit. It might even taste as good as a piece of apple pie. It's true. So do that. You're going to notice changes. Later on in the afternoon, maybe have a healthy snack. And in the evening, have a healthy meal. Now, the key here is to eat healthy. You know, you can intermittent fast, but if you're going to go to McDonald's at lunch and then pizza or Little Caesars at dinner, you're going to negate the benefits of intermittent fasting. It still might help you, but, you know, your best to try to eat healthy. And you should be eating healthy. Intermittent fasting too, it's gonna help you with insulin sensitivity. So when you do eat, your body will clear out those sugars from your bloodstream easier. When you have insulin insensitivity, it's usually when you're a little heavier, overweight, and you're becoming more susceptible to, I think, type 2 diabetes. So, yeah, I think if you do that and you do it over a period of time, you're going to start noticing excess fat coming off. So that's my first suggestion. And it's an adjustment, but, you know, I think we put these barriers in our mind of why we can't do that. I could never do that. I have to have breakfast. Well, you don't. If you start saying, I am going to wait till lunch to eat, I am going to eat healthier, you will do it. Tip number 2 to get noticeably more healthy and fit: no junk food. No junk food at all. And that includes no alcohol. So I'm going to start first with junk food. Junk food is junk. It's called junk food for a reason. There's nothing of value in it. Actually, it's a detriment. You've got high sugars, you've got high fats, very little nutritional value. Cut it out. And I really do think it's addictive, especially sugar. They've been saying that sugar can be an addictive thing where, you know, you start eating and you crave it. And I don't know about you, but I've had fast food, you know, before, obviously. I don't eat it much, but I do find when you do get fast food, it's on your mind again soon after. You crave it. Your body wants it. Cut that crap out because it's loaded with junk and calories. So if you are regularly eating junk food and you cut that out, that's a dramatic change. Your calories consumed is going to decline. Your body fat is going to go, your intake of fat is going to go down. And your cravings for it will probably start going down. You know, when you're eating it, your body's going to give you those cravings, I think, still. So cut out junk food. If you're cutting out the junk food, again, you're going to notice a difference. Again, you're going to say, I can't cut out the junk food. I need my chocolate after dinner. You don't need it. You know, like, if you want to be successful in life and also fitness, it's like many things. You have to look long term. You cannot focus on the short term. If you're focusing on the short term, it's going to be way harder. I need the short term fix of junk food. I need the short term fix of chocolate. I need the short term fix of booze because I'm stressed. These are setting you up for failure. If you tell yourself, reframe it and say, I need to get fit. I want to get fit. I only am going to be on this world once in my life. I want to be the optimal individual that I can be. And by doing that, I am not going to put garbage and poison in my body via junk and alcohol. Now, alcohol, I don't drink. I stopped drinking, I don't even know, 7-8 years ago. And back then, I wouldn't say I drank a lot at once, but I was drinking often. You know, it kind of became habitual. I was drinking often, and I think part of it is because it's so socially accepted. Sorry about the mic there. And it's promoted with holidays, gatherings, events. Even when you're younger in high school or university, the amount as a man you can drink might be, admired, which is ridiculous. But as you get older, you start realizing it does nothing for you and it does a lot of bad for you. And you look at it differently. When you drink and you get that body buzz, it's your body, your liver, you're fighting the effects of the booze. Your body is trying to get that garbage out of you. That's your buzz. It's not a good thing. You drink enough of it, you're gonna barf. Because your body's like, okay, enough, we gotta get this out of here. It's a poison. And it sounds dramatic, and it's a different way to look at it, but cut out the booze. The booze is loaded with calories. And also drinking, you start drinking, you are going to get food cravings. You're going to want chips. You're going to want pizza, wings. Nothing good. So, and it's expensive. You drinking regularly, you're just lighting money on fire to poison yourself. Now, I know this sounds dramatic, but it is. It is of little value. It's actually negative to your body, and it's expensive. That's why I've cut it out. Plus, too, there's the side effects of drinking in the sense that, you're not your optimal self. Right now, I'm in the mindset, I want to be the best I can be. I'm 51 now. I've decided I'm going to be the best mentally and physically I can be. And if I'm drinking a bottle of red wine in an evening, just hanging out with the wife, and then next day I want to hit the gym, I'm not going to feel 100%. I'm not going to have my best workout. I'm not going to be the best I can at work. I'm not going to be the best I can for my 13-year-old son. Anyways, cut out the booze. Cut out the junk food, and that will have a huge impact on you physically and how you're feeling mentally on numerous accounts. I think everyone knows that, though. I don't know if they know about the intermittent fasting. They know about alcohol. They know about fast or junk food, but they gotta have the willpower. And I think they set up excuses why they can't follow through with that. Like with alcohol, it's been a tough work week. I need some wine on Friday, Saturday night. It's so-and-so's birthday party. I need to have, sweets and then a big piece of birthday cake. There's always an excuse for something, and there's always events. You've got to change your lifestyle if you want to see change in yourself. And excuses are just roadblocks that you're putting in your mind. So change that. Do it. You can do it. And no one's going to shoot you if you say no to booze. No one's going to be pissed at you if you say, I'm not having that birthday cake. They'll get over it. They'll get over it, and they'll understand, and they might even respect you. Okay, the third key to getting fit, if you're starting from scratch, or even if you are kind of active but you want to ramp things up, is try to get your steps in. And this is a big thing now. Get your steps in. Well, yeah. When you're first starting out, you might want to start out at a lower amount, especially if you're quite overweight. Try for 4, well, no, not 4, because I think the average person in the US gets about 4,000 steps per day just doing very little work. Aim for 6 to 10,000 steps per day, and you'll be amazed how quickly they add up. I got this Fitbit from Amazon here. You can get them anywhere. You can get them from Costco. And it's great. It tracks your steps, and it's not rocket science. It will tell you your steps. It's pretty accurate too. And it's a great assistant in letting me know where I'm at. And it's kind of a motivator too. If you're starting to say, okay, I want to get more steps in, I want to be more active, this is kind of like someone that's on your back saying, okay, buddy, you're not following through, or you're doing a good job, keep it up. So get those steps in. And it's all about activity and being mobile and active. You know, the more active you are, the better. And the nice thing about steps is it doesn't increase your cortisol levels, like stress. So if you're running 20 miles, your cortisol levels are going to just spike. And a lot of the times what's going to happen is you're going to, it's really hard on your body, but you're also going to crave vast amounts of dense food, of high calorie food. Walking, you don't get that. You're not going to get these spikes in your cortisol. You're not going to get tremendous stress on your joints. And you can do it anywhere. A lot of it, especially in the winter, I do my walking at home. We've got a nice layout where I put on the TV, put on some YouTube or business news, and I have a few coffees. You got the washroom there if you need to take a washroom break, something, you know, just to get rid of the coffee. Too much info, I know, but I'm just saying it's handy rather than going out on the street and walking. And you do your steps in the house at your own pace. You can do them. And something as little as that makes a difference. So be active and do those steps. And again, you start doing steps, whether it's 6,000 to 10,000 per day, it's gonna add up. A little Camaro there giving a rev, all right. And anyone can do steps. I mean, unless you've got a disability, steps are gonna be more challenging, but for the most part, steps are attainable. And they're a great way to increase your calories. So, yeah, and once, also, if you find you're getting, like I try to do about 16,000 steps a day right now, which is quite a bit. So what I did a few months ago was I went on Amazon and I bought a 20-pound weighted vest. And that helps add resistance. And that will also keep, you know, the calorie output burning, per se. So there's little ways to tinker it. But yeah, I'm still trying to get my steps in. And it's a great way. And last thing, and this is pretty obvious too, is weight training. And these things are all things we know. You just got to do it. Now, I've spent, like I said, up till last week, I spent the last couple years, I think 2-3 years, weight training at home. Just going to have a little sip of coffee here. But you don't need like Arnold Schwarzenegger weight sets here, you know, like all the crazy equipment. Just a couple years ago I bought kettlebells from Amazon or a local store, and you can get a good, and using body weight, you know, you shift your workouts. If you're doing a workout at home, you can do body weight focused exercises that are very effective. Something as easy as push-ups or arm curls, shoulder presses, shoulder flies, lunges. Grab a kettlebell like this and do like a stationary squat. You can get a good workout. Now, what I found by joining the gym last week is that just the equipment level is superior, and you can just have a even better workout with more options. But by all means, you can, especially if you're starting out, you can work out at home, and you don't have to go crazy. I think a lot of people start out their workout journeys and they have this elaborate craziness of like a 2-hour intense workout. You don't need that. Split it into 3 days with various body parts and do like a 45-minute workout. And just by doing that 3-4 times a week with the 3 other things I suggested, and you combine all 4 of these things, it will transform your body over time. You gotta just stick to it, you know? 3-4 times a week. And how many times a week are you watching Netflix? Are you watching YouTube in the evening? And you could be doing some steps. You could be doing a workout while you're watching your show rather than sitting on the couch. I'm sure a lot of us could be doing that. And we might have reasons that we tell ourselves we can't do that. I'm tired. True, could be possible, but you can overcome that fatigue. I'm hungry, or, I'm not hungry, but, I don't feel like it, and I want to relax. I had a long day at work, and yeah, you know what? There's always an excuse for everything. You're looking at the short term, how you're feeling. Focus on your goal, your long-term goal. I want to get fit. I want to be the best I can be. If you want to do that, you're going to overcome the evening fatigue, the evening laziness. And you're going to say, no, you know what? I might not be feeling 100%, but I'm going to do it. And you know what? When you do it, you never regret it. You never do a workout and say, oh, I wish I didn't do that. You'll say, I'm glad I did that. You'll impress yourself and you'll feel better. So yeah, start by doing 3 workouts per week. 45 minutes. One day could be legs. Next day could be a combination of, say, you could do back muscles, like bent over rows, or pulls. You put the dumbbell on the stair and pull, things like that. So do back and maybe arms. And then the third day, do like push-ups, like chest and shoulder muscles. Split it into 3 different days. You're not going to get miraculous muscle growth by doing it that way 3 days a week, but you're definitely going to train the muscle. And by building your muscles and training your muscles, for those 3 or 4 other days you're deciding to watch YouTube or Netflix, your body is going to be burning more calories like a furnace. Not insanely, but it will be, because muscle burns calories as you rest. Fat does nothing. Fat just increases your estrogen levels. It drops your testosterone levels. So there really is nothing negative, as long as you're using good form, about lifting weights. And start out slow. Go for, if you're a beginner, start for 8 to 12 reps and do like 3 to 4 sets. Try just doing 3 sets of that muscle group. You're doing shoulder presses, do 8 or 12. And then just do 3 sets, right, getting close to where you can't do any more. You don't want to push it too hard. And then as you get more comfortable and more experienced, you can make modifications. And there's tons of information on YouTube about how to tweak your workouts. But look if you can do these 4 things: intermittent fasting, cut out the junk food and alcohol, start increasing your steps and introducing weight training, you're going to dramatically transform the way you feel, the way you look, and your life. And you know what? We only have one life. We only have one life to live. Why not be your optimal self? If you're not working out, if you're slugging back junk food, if you're slugging back alcohol, if you're not walking and active, you're not being your best. And by trying to be your best, you're going to feel better about yourself, knowing that you're at least trying to live your best life, rather than a life of mediocrity or just accepting things. There's no reason why you can't do this. You're going to put your mind's going to play tricks with you and say, you can't do this, or do this instead. Overcome those short-term barriers that your mind will put in your head, if that makes sense, and overcome them and focus on what your goal is. Have a goal and you can do it. So yeah, that's just 4 easy steps for whether you're fresh out of the gate beginner or if you've been, starting to dip your toe in the exercise world about personal improvement, and you're maybe not doing one or two of those 4 things, give them a try. I'm sure a lot of people aren't doing intermittent fasting. You might be doing the other 3 and kind of plateaued. You got a little excess body fat here. You can't shake it. Just keep doing what you're doing, but then try skipping breakfast and make sure your meal at lunch and dinner with the snack is healthy. Healthy foods, lots of protein. I think that's another thing. People go light on protein, and you can load yourself up with carbs and you're not going to get quite as full, satiated, as they say. If you get chicken breasts and lean beef, lean pork, fish, you're going to feel fuller and better. So yeah, try these 4 things out. If you're already doing some, introduce the one you're not doing and see how it works for you. And I wish you guys luck. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to have more content like this. Focus on fitness, finance, and cars through things I really enjoy. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Have a great day.